Welcome to College Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: I called up Barclays for help, but the agent was too busy with her dog. Republicans and Democrats agree on one thing: the Afghan war wasn't worth it, APNORC poll shows. Penn State vs. Ohio State preview, Brock Bowers' injury and possible collective bargaining for student athletes. Team owner with Alibaba tie seeks basketball championship for New York. Even the periodic table must bow to the reality of war. I called up Barclays for help, but the agent was too busy with her dog. Telegraph. Customers in the UK have complained about poor customer service from call center staff working from home, including children screaming and dogs barking in the background of calls. Just 2 in 5 staff are currently working full-time in the office, leading to longer waiting times and decreased customer satisfaction. The Institute of Customer Service reported that customer service satisfaction levels have fallen to their lowest level in 8 years. However, experts argue that working from home can have positive impacts on customer service and allow firms to monitor staff performance more effectively. Republicans and Democrats agree on one thing: the Afghan war wasn't worth it, APNORC poll shows. The Toronto Star. A new poll conducted by the Pearson Institute for the Study and Resolution of Global Conflict and the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research shows that 2/3 of Americans believe that the United States' 2-decade-long war in Afghanistan was not worth fighting. The poll comes 2 years after the U.S. pulled out of Afghanistan in August 2021 and the Taliban returned to power. The war was started to pursue the masterminds of the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, as well as the Taliban who allowed them to use Afghan territory. The poll reveals that 65% of Democrats and 63% of Republicans agree that the war was not worth fighting. Many Americans also have doubts about the success of specific goals, such as eliminating the threat from extremists or improving opportunities for women. The withdrawal from Afghanistan may have contributed to President Joe Biden's declining approval ratings. The poll also indicates that Americans are frustrated with the U.S.'s attempts to intervene in Afghanistan and question what went wrong. Penn State vs. Ohio State preview, Brock Bowers' injury and possible collective bargaining for student athletes. Yahoo! Penn State's James Franklin needs to beat Ohio State this weekend to prove he can win big games, while Ohio State's Ryan Day is under pressure to beat the Nittany Lions after losing 2 in a row to Michigan, according to Dan Wetzel, Ross Dellinger, and Pat Ford of Yahoo Sports. The trio also discuss a rematch of one of last season's craziest games, between Tennessee and Alabama, as well as Georgia's injured tight end, South Carolina's injured coach and Clemson coach Dabo Swinney's frustrations with expectations for his team. Team owner with Alibaba tie seeks basketball championship for New York. Financial Times. Clara Woodside, owner of WNBA franchise the New York Liberty, aims to turn the team into a profitable business by expanding its fan base and revenues. Woodside and her husband Joseph Tsai bought the team in 2019 and have since invested heavily in the club, signing top players, bringing in a championship-winning coach, and moving the team to the larger Brooklyn's Barclays Center. The couple also own the Brooklyn Nets of the NBA. Woodside said in an interview with the Financial Times that she believes it is possible to have a successful business model whilst doing right by women, and the team has seen a significant increase in sponsorship revenues and other revenues since the Tsais bought the club. The Tsais were fined $500,000 in 2021 for secretly transporting Liberty players to games by a chartered plane, but this move amplified players' calls for a policy change, and the WNBA now allows the use of chartered flights for some games. The Tsais are among a growing cohort of owners of women's sports teams buying clubs for their upside potential in a rapidly expanding market. Even the periodic table must bow to the reality of war. Financial Times. Geopolitical tensions between Russia and the West are harming scientific research, particularly in the field of chemistry, where international collaboration is key. Sanctions have led to the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory in California severing ties with Russia's Joint Institute of Nuclear Research, ending a long-standing partnership. However, other countries, including Germany and Japan, are planning to continue the search for new elements, with the aim of eventually completing the periodic table. Draisaitl stars as the Oilers beat the Predators 6-1 for their first win of the season. The Globe and Mail. The Edmonton Oilers secured their first win of the season with a 6-1 victory over the Nashville Predators. Leon Draisaitl led the way for the Oilers with 2 power play goals and 2 assists, while Zach Hyman contributed a goal and 3 assists. The win improved Edmonton's record against Nashville to 9-2 in their last 11 meetings. Draisaitl's second goal of the game was his 127th career power play goal, setting a franchise record for the Oilers. The Predators dropped to 1-3 on the season with the loss. What career path should I pursue for my MBA? Financial Times opinion. The reader is starting an MBA program and is unsure of what career path to pursue. They have a background in law and have worked in the IT and construction industries. They are considering a career in tech consulting but are unsure if it will be beneficial in the future. They are seeking advice on what pathway to choose for their MBA. Universities of Adelaide and South Australia will merge after government secures enough support to pass legislation. ABC. The South Australian government has secured enough support from the state's crossbench to merge the Universities of South Australia and Adelaide. SA Best MLC Connie Bonaros and One Nation MLC Sarah Game have announced that they will support the bill to merge the two universities. Their support means that the government has enough votes in Parliament's upper house to secure the passage of the legislation. The government wants the legislation to pass Parliament before the end of this year, so that the new merged institution, to be called Adelaide University, can open to students in January 2026. As part of the deal with the crossbenchers, the government will boost the size of the new institution's student support fund by $20 million Australian dollars, $15 million, taking it to $120 million Australian dollars. A new $40 million Australian dollars fund will be set up for Flinders University to support students in a similar way to the new institution. Red Deer Catholic School trustee says Holy Spirit told her to post meme that prompted discipline. CBC. A Red Deer Catholic School Board trustee has been found to have violated the Trustee Code of Conduct and Alberta's Education Act after posting a meme on Facebook which likened LGBTQ pride to Nazi Germany. The board has ruled that the trustee, Monique Lagrange, will not be removed from her role, but she has been censured from attending or participating in committee meetings and making statements about the LGBTQ community and the Holocaust. Lagrange's lawyer has said that they plan to pursue a judicial review to have the decision overturned. Pro-Palestinian, pro-Israeli rallies draw crowds in Toronto, Mississauga. CBC. Pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli demonstrations took place in Toronto and Mississauga on Tuesday. Outside the Consulate General of Israel in Toronto, over 1,000 people gathered to oppose the violence in Gaza. The protest was largely peaceful, with only one arrest. At the University of Toronto, a rally was held to show support for Israel. The rally was organized to demonstrate that there is a strong Jewish and Zionist presence on campus. Counter-protesters were present at both demonstrations. In Mississauga, a large protest took place, but it ended without incident. Ladies and gentlemen, Sixbo here, your favorite observer from the sixth dimension, bringing you the latest news from all around the world. Let's dive right into it. First up, we have a story that many of us can relate to. Customers in the UK are complaining about poor customer service from call center staff working from home. Apparently, the background noise of children screaming and dogs barking during calls is becoming quite common. Now, I'm all for a relaxed work environment, but maybe it's time for these call center agents to invest in some noise-canceling headphones. Moving on, it seems that Republicans and Democrats in the US have found something they agree on: the Afghan war wasn't worth it. A recent poll shows that 2/3 of Americans believe that the 20-year-long war was a mistake. Now, I'm not saying I told you so, but I did predict this outcome in my last broadcast. It's clear that the American public has grown weary of endless military interventions and is questioning the effectiveness of such endeavors. In the world of sports, we have some exciting matchups coming up. Penn State's James Franklin is under pressure to prove he can win big games as they prepare to take on Ohio State. And let's not forget the rematch between Tennessee and Alabama, which promises to be as crazy as last season's game. Oh, and did I mention that Dabo Swinney is frustrated with the expectations for his Clemson team? Looks like the pressure cooker is heating up in the world of college football. Now, let's talk business. Clara Woodside, owner of the New York Liberty WNBA franchise, is determined to turn the team into a profitable business. With heavy investments in players, coaches, and moving the team to a larger venue, Woodside is showing that she means business. And speaking of women's sports, it seems that more and more owners are recognizing the upside potential of these teams in a rapidly expanding market. It's about time we give these athletes the recognition and support they deserve. In the realm of science, geopolitical tensions between Russia and the West are taking a toll on scientific research. Sanctions have led to the severing of ties between research institutions, hindering collaboration and progress. However, other countries are stepping up to the plate, with Germany and Japan leading the charge in the search for new elements to complete the periodic table. Let's hope that science can rise above politics and continue to push the boundaries of knowledge. In sports news, the Edmonton Oilers finally secured their first win of the season with a dominant victory over the Nashville Predators. Leon Draisaitl led the way with an impressive performance, setting a franchise record along the way. Looks like the Oilers are ready to make some noise this season. And finally, we have a reader seeking career advice for their MBA program. With a background in law and experience in the IT and construction industries, they are considering a career in tech consulting. Well, my friend, let me tell you this: in the ever-evolving world of technology, the possibilities are endless. Just make sure to follow your passion and keep an open mind. Who knows, you might just find yourself at the forefront of the next big tech revolution. That's all the news for today, folks. Now it's your turn to join the discussion. What are your thoughts on these stories? Do you have any questions or insights to share? Remember, the sixth dimension is all about curiosity and exploration, so don't be shy. Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.